For you and your program, and for her, how big is the Scholar Athlete Award, the K Yao thing?
Well, yeah, it's pretty special considering I did most of the tutoring and the academic advice. It's not surprising. Just the conversations that she's able to have with me and the knowledge that I'm able to give her. Those are the things you can't put a price tag on, Jody.
Okay.
Would you like me to go on anymore? I mean, I think that sums up about everything, guys.
It kind of does.
See, no. as I always said, Jody, back in 1996 when I graduated from the Ivy League of Kentucky colleges, Northern Kentucky University, I was able to then give back to all these student athletes that I've been able to interact with here. Now, okay. You know what? Jody,
to be a well-rounded basketball player and student. What does that mean for you,
Doc? Whatever she does to the best of her abilities. That's the one thing I can always say about Dana. It's not just basketball. It's academics. It's how she interacts in our community. It's something she takes a lot of pride in. And you've got to give a lot of credit to her to her parents. It's the way she was raised. She was raised, not only to strive to be a great basketball player, but to be a great person. And with that comes your academic success, the way you handle yourself in public. I've been just so impressed with her as I've watched her grow through 4 years of her interviews. It's really been a pleasure to watch as she's grown in those stages also. So I'm really proud of her, excited for her, for our program, our university, just everything. So it does not surprise me, though, that she has won that wonderful honor.
You've had a lot of success in the ACC tournament, in the postseason in general. Do you do things the same every year? Like, do you, like how you prepare and if you have a double bye, like do you do all the little things the same, or do you ever change anything up?
We try to stay as consistent as we can. I mean, and things are different for this year. I was just telling my staff, we're flying down today. If I had it to do again, we'd probably fly down tomorrow. We can't even really go to the game. The noon game tomorrow to watch Wake Forest, Carolina play. So we're going to be sitting at the hotel and watching it, in our room that we have, our meeting space that we have, where we could have just done it sitting here at home, and then flown out tomorrow and just treat it as a normal road game. And then if you win, you stay. So we don't change a whole bunch up. We like to try to stay as consistent as we can. Now, we ramp things up some for the past few days of practice just to make sure that our attention to detail is where it needs to be, because I am a believer in you can't push them with the same intensity the entire season, because at this time of the year now I've got to be able to ramp things up and make sure that we're dialed in on every aspect of it, because now, missing one assignment on a baseline out of bounds play can be the difference of you playing the next day or flying back home.
Jeff, what was your reaction to the news out of Texas that they're kind of opening things up and no masks, and you guys are headed there to San Antonio in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, we're going to have our masks on. I mean, everything that I've been told is the NCAA is still going to have our protocols. They have, basically taken over hotels. So the entire hotel is blocked off with teams, participants, staff, which is a big thing right now. Because even with us going down to the ACC tournament, we just played at Notre Dame on Sunday, and we don't have the entire hotel. So, there are kids in the swimming pool. They're jumping on the elevator with you. We're trying to be as cautious as we can. So it's more difficult. But going down here to San Antonio, the hotels are occupied by participants, and we're going to have to still have the same protocols.
Jeff, as this season has evolved and Mikasa has gotten, I guess maybe 5-for-5 the other day, more comfortable or doing more things. How different does it make you as a team when she's able to hit a couple of shots?
Well, when she's able to hit some shots, I mean, it really spread things out and opened things up for all of us. And she's got that ability to do that. I'm not expecting her to go 5-for-5 every night, but she's got the ability to go 3-for-5, 4-for-7, and she's got that green light for me. I've told her to shoot the ball, and I'm not taking you out for missing shots. It's something I've never done here. Now, you take bad shots, yeah, I'll take you out. But if you're taking shots you work on every day in practice, that's fine. We do talk, Jody. There is a thing called time and score. Do I want Koss possibly shooting a shot within the first 8 seconds of the shot clock? Possibly not, depending on what type it is. But all of our players understand. We talk about that. It's not equal opportunity where everybody gets to take the same amount of shots. You earn that right. And you've got some players that have a little bit more freedom of when to shoot it, when not to shoot it, where to shoot it from. And Koss has really done a wonderful job of getting a feel for what's the best shot for her. And now she's got more confidence in it. And I thought at Notre Dame, she really, really came out of her shell and showed that.
Jeff, would you just discuss the importance of having someone like her that embraces the role of doing a lot of things that people don't necessarily love doing on the defensive end and taking charges and all the little things she does?
Well, she took 5 charges in our game on Sunday. I mean, that's right up there with Sam Fury. You've got to be special, and as I joke with her, you've got to have a screw a little bit loose. At times to sit there and let someone run into you. But it's the toughness. It's what she has in her. You can't coach it. You can't teach it. I can't teach somebody to be willing to sit in there and take a charge. But because she's done it, she knows how to fall. She knows how to take the impact. And then she just bounces right back up. She is as important to our team as Dana. There's no question about it. What she can do for us on the defensive end of the floor, and then her ability to create extra possessions for us is as important as Dana scoring. And that's why our whole team, when you look through our team, it's pretty amazing to think of the fact that we just went 14-2 in a league and had only one player on first or second team All ACC. And obviously it was Dana who was player of the year. And that's not a knock to any of the other players that earned those awards because they all deserved it. I'm saying it more so as a compliment to everybody else on our team, because there's not just 1 or 2 players besides Dana that you can look at and say, oh, she's by far the second best player, the third best player. We've got a solid team. And what's so impressive about that and so good for us here is it's not just one person who's going to be behind Dana. It's 7 or 8 that are able to step up and score for us and do some different things with rebounding the ball and defensively. So it's been fun to watch Casa, and I'm excited about this postseason run here.
Jeff, you kind of mentioned it on the ACC conference call, but the depth of this conference and obviously it's not getting as much respect nationally. But what do you expect this week? I mean, anything could kind of happen, couldn't it? Because you look, Syracuse is the 5 seed, and I mean, they can beat anybody in this tournament. So I mean, anything could kind of happen, can it?
No, it sure can. I mean, you've got a Syracuse team, as you just said, Jody, that's sitting there in the fifth hole, the 5 hole, and they were up 3 with about 3 minutes to go on Sunday against NC State. You've got Wake Forest, who's playing in this 8-9 game that took us down to the wire in a ball game that we had to score with about 30 seconds to go to take the lead. Carolina just beat Georgia Tech a week ago by 30. I mean, it's good. It's a very good league. And I'll say it again. This season, it's been so important how you started the year. If you didn't start in the top 25, it was about virtually impossible to get back up into the top 25 because you didn't have the opportunities to play as many non-conference games. And then even for us, we were scheduled to play UConn, and unfortunately for COVID, we weren't able to. We were supposed to play at Cincinnati, at Middle Tennessee State, some really good, some good ball clubs that unfortunately we weren't because of COVID. A lot of people had those same situations impact them. Florida State, I think their only non-conference game was Florida. They have won. So what happens then is when you start beating up on each other in the ACC, if you're not ranked, you're never going to get ranked because you're not beaten, having the opportunity to play against 5 or 6 ranked opponents. So now it's just NC State and us, the only 2 you're going to get to play against, and we're both ranked in the top 5, top 6. So it's been a challenge, but I think our league is really, really good. You go down to Virginia Tech is playing extremely well. Carolina is playing extremely well. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, Wake Forest. Jen's done a remarkable job. So I think we've got 8 or 9 that have a legitimate shot at making the NCAA tournament, and not just making it, but winning ball games in it.
Is that it for Coach? Anything else?
Thanks, sir.
I appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
Have a safe